Good afternoon, Toronto. Good afternoon, Toronto. Today in the studio, Coldjack, Johnny Boy Fraser. How are you?
Good,
Welcome.
Curtis. Always lovely coming back to see you, my friend.
How you been?
I've been marvellous, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting on with the new single.
Yes, tell us about that.
Well, I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but
Okay.
I've got Carson Freeman coming in. He's the Carson brothers.
Okay.
He's playing sax on this track, and it's called Wait For Me.
All right.
So it's a bit of a sort of middle of the road sort of ballad type, but it's beautiful.
Right.
So I'm working on that with Eddie right now.
Oh,
So I can't wait to finish. We're almost finished. We just got a few things to do on that.
Right
but
on, right
we've got
on.
that coming out.
all right.
And then obviously we've got the show coming up, as you know.
We're going to talk about that.
Yes. And just launched also my new Coldjack band, Coldjack Cafe.
Let's hold that up to the screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's have a look at that. This is our hot jazzy sauce, organic,
Uh-huh.
gluten-free.
Right.
And also non-GMO, but its flavours are amazing. Yes.
And this book.
Yes, this book. This is called the Brain Revolution book. That my beautiful wife Heather, she is a publisher and author, and this is a fantastic book that's going to be out soon. And everybody is going crazy over this. It's really about the PTSD and survivors of people that have gone through some bad times, and there's a lot of success stories in this. You know, people have turned their lives around, and it's fantastic. So well worth going to read this. I think this is going to be a big seller for them, so
Okay.
it's going to be pretty cool.
First, let's talk about your single from last year, Unconditional. What a marvelous production. When you gave me a sample of that, and I almost dropped it on the radio, and you said, hold back there,
Yeah.
Breeze, hold back there. There's some finishing touches, some horns and other things going on there.
Yep.
Yes, this was absolute killer.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
it's been well received as well. What I love about it is the lyrics. It's I know that the music is, you know, it's the music. Eddie done a great job on the music, and,
Yes.
but it's the lyrics. I mean, it tells a story there,
Right.
you know. And I love recording that song, and I couldn't wait. As you know, I couldn't wait to get it out. I was excited to get it
Yes.
out. So it was well received around the world on all the stations,
Right.
and. I think it's a song that will stay in a lot of people's memories, or you know, it's always going to be there.
Right.
And I think again, it's one of those songs that if it's played in 2 years, 3 years, people will still remember it because of the lyrics. and
Yes.
everything. And if you haven't heard it, check it out. It's on YouTube as well. You can just put Unconditional.
I love that song, man. Not just the lyrics, but the music and how they combine together.
Yeah, I thought even Joey Martell, our guitarist, he came in and laid the tracks down on that, and we were sort of trying to work out what would fit nice, whether it was going to be piano solo or a sax solo. But when Joey played those guitar parts, that was it. It just fitted really lovely into the track. So
Right.
it was a good day.
Okay.
It was a good day.
The next track, Love Philosophy. Why? What is Love Philosophy?
Love Philosophy. Well, actually, Love Philosophy was a track written by Jamiroquai.
Really?
Yeah, so we wanted to do our own version of it, really.
All right.
So, and again, it's been received extremely well around the world because it is slightly different.
Right.
You know, it's slightly different. And again, it's a fun song, right? It's,
Yeah,
it's
it
fun.
is. It's
And
danceable.
it's very danceable, and it was very enjoyable. And I remember saying to you, it was just a demo at the time, right? It was a demo at the time, and you were the first to listen to it and say, "What are you going to do with that?" Do you remember? And I
Yeah,
said, "Well, maybe I should release it." And you go, "Are you crazy? Just get it out there."
Get it out there, man.
And so we did, and again, it's getting great feedback, and it still is getting good feedback. So, and it was different for me too, vocally.
Yes, it was. It really was.
Yeah.
Give the fans a sense of where you grew up.
Well, I was born and bred in London. I'm a true Cockney. I was born within the sound of the Bow Bells by the famous Bow Bells Church.
Okay.
And then my parents moved from London to Kent and basically lived in the greater London area in South East London.
Right.
Good times in the 70s when I was a kid. And the music was great too, as you know.
Absolutely.
You can't beat disco in the 70s, and it's really the 70s and the 80s that really sort of drew me towards more sort of funk and R&B and
Yes,
soul.
yes.
And as you know, I'm a big Level 42 fans, for which I'm speaking to right now. And I want to tell you this.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at going back to see my parents next year for my mum's 80th, and there is a good chance I'll be actually meeting up with Mark King, the bass player.
Deadly.
And I'm hoping
Deadly.
Eddie and I are going to work on trying to get Mark to play bass on a new single. So that's my aim, to see my hero. But I'm hoping to get him on that track. But I miss certain things. I miss the music scene back home, because it is different slightly.
Right. Now, tell us what's like working with Eddie Bullen in the studio.
Oh, it's fantastic, because Eddie's always pushing you. You know, he's pushing you to your limits. You know,
That's right.
And being so creative. It's not intimidating. It's intimidating in a good way, because I know what he's asking for,
Right.
and then by the end of the day, we've pretty much got that end product. But working with Eddie, being a true professional and top musician,
Right.
I find Eddie gets the best out of me,
Okay.
because I'm still learning. I'm still being creative, as you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, Eddie's good for anybody that wants to come into the music game, because he relaxes you too, right?
Right.
He's not intimidating to the point where he makes you feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's a good intimidation, you know.
Good.
It's
That's good.
a nice feeling, actually.
Good. Tell me, for those of you just tuning in, Coldjack Johnny Boy Fraser is live in the studio at Radioregent broadcast facilities in downtown Toronto. What is your take on radio stations with their approach to independent artists and getting your music out there?
Well, thanks to you and all the other great indie internet stations, and some FM stations actually. I think they're doing a fantastic job, to be honest, Curtis. I mean, it seems that the more radio stations that support indie music, it's encouraging the artists to come out with better material, and it's a different kind of support, because, as you know, mainstream has got this transfixion on top 40 or top 20, and it's a repetition, and they play the same tracks over and over again. Fair enough.
Right.
But with the internet stations like you give artists like myself a chance across Canada and around the world.
Thank you.
And a lot of stations also do that, you know, and it seems to be becoming more and more popular. And I'm just hoping that more and more people tune into it. And the reason I say that is because mainstream is one sort of genre, and it seems to be just, you know, the top 20 all the
Yes,
time, where
yeah.
if people listen to internet station, they've got a choice of listening
It's
to
more dynamic.
yeah, exactly what they're looking for, and what they want to listen to. So,
Right. I play your music.
yes, you do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Air Candy DVD.
Yep.
Every Friday from 3 to 5, she plays your music. Because everything I get, I filter out to her with music. Lady Funkalicious, Paula, all about the funk. Plays
Yes,
your music.
Paula.
And Jazz Juice, .net at Jazz Juice, Frank Toohey in
Frankie
Britain.
Toohey, back
Oh,
home in England, yeah.
And Wave Radio.
Wave FM.
Wave FM. So,
Yeah, Wave FM. I mean, you all of you, you're all different in your own right. But you know, I've recently got to know Paula,
yeah.
and you know Paula, and
Yes.
she's again another lady that's got a fantastic voice as well. You know, and her singles come out, and there's a great single.
Yes.
They're starting to jump on these new artists that are coming across Canada and Toronto. So, and again, Frank's been a great advocate for promoting, supporting Coldjack, amongst the other artists like Terry Tuck. You know,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
And we never can thank you enough. You know,
Thank
again,
you.
I know
Thank you.
we have to produce the music and give it to you, but again, without you sort of giving your time and spending hours putting shows together, because people don't realise what goes into not just making a song,
Yes.
but what you guys do, putting on a show.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
all the DJs, all I can personally say, like Sassy Sue and the crew, is thank you. You know, you guys are just phenomenal, amazing people.
Thank you. Wow. Next Saturday, Friday and Saturday, tell the people where you're going to be performing.
Well, we're back at the Jazz Bistro on Victoria Street,
Right.
just opposite Dundas Square. We call this our second home.
Yes.
And the reason, it's one of the best, I think it's one of the best jazz venues. And it's not just jazz, as you know, it's R&B and soul now. It's one of the most fantastic venues. I mean, the Joan and Colin, the owners, the British owners, they've spent a lot of time on the decor, as you know, Curtis, and the ambience, the food, The wine is fantastic there. It's a phenomenal venue to play, and it is our second home because we always sell out.
Yes.
And it's such a buzz, you know. We have a great time there, and we can't wait to play there next Friday, the 12th and the 13th of October. So if you would love to come down and meet us, have a photograph, a chat, anything, I'd love you to come down and listen to our music. And we got some new tracks too.
Good.
So,
I can't wait to hear
yeah,
them.
looking forward to that.
And yes. Who's some of the artists you admired growing up?
Yeah, again, there's so many, isn't there? As we said, Earth, Wind and Fire, Level 42, Jamiroquai, as we mentioned, Crown Heights Affair way back, and the list goes on. Even Barry White, George Benson. I could go on and on. It's that kind of music that drew me in.
Yes.
I found the soul from that. It's funny because I think I remember telling you this before. I used to, as a kid, I used to listen to rock and Elvis Presley, and I suppose you do.
Yeah.
But when I heard Earth, Wind and Fire and Crown Heights Fair, it was really weird. I just was so taken back by the horn section and the songs and the writing and the words it was just so great, and I couldn't wait to get the earphones on. And I got the new vinyl, and then I got into Level 42, and I followed them all over the planet, and became a big fan. So yeah, they're a lot of my sort of they're the bands that I love from the past, and I still do.
I'm still playing them today.
But you can't get that kind. It's funny. I think disco's coming back, and there's a resurgence of that, and a lot more stations. Have you noticed, though, Curtis? A lot more sax and horns is coming back into writing, and we seem to be going. Yeah, we do need it because the energy's there. Yeah. I mean, take my good friends, Crack of Dawn. It's exactly the same, right? I mean, my friend Trevor Daly, and I've got to know Elvin, and obviously Cole's on tour with Toots again, lucky bugger, and and when you listen to those bands, this is what it's all about. The young people need to come out and listen to this stuff, because it sort of makes your day feel better.
It sure does. John, explain to what is auto-tune?
Auto-tune?
Yes. What is that?
Auto-tune. Okay. Well, I don't want to be too disrespectful. Auto-tune, but auto-tune is correcting someone that can't sing.
Oh, okay. All right.
A lot of singers use auto-tunes for an effect.
Right.
But some singers use it, unfortunately, because they can't hold a note. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. Yeah. But I don't believe in auto-tune. I think, when you sing live, you try and replicate that from being in a recording studio. And when I go into a recording studio, there's not too many effects with Eddie. We try and keep it as organic as possible.
I like that touch.
Yeah, like you said, you get a lot of stars that used to use auto-tune, and then you find out that they're having a problem singing, perhaps, or they can't reach those notes. And I think it's something that's been and gone now, and hopefully artists will get back to just singing organically and enjoying it.
Yes, so that's good. Johnny Fraser, what are some of your milestones with music?
Oh, well, when I was in England, being an ex-pro soccer player, we had our first show at my old soccer ground. We played in their sort of like their conference room. That was pretty cool. That was my first experience with Coldjack when I was a bass player. Okay. But I got every festival. I'll be honest. Every festival and every show that I played is as good as the first. And I enjoy every day. I just enjoy every show. It puts a smile on my face, and I get those withdrawal symptoms the next day, like an actor or a comedian, where like you get depressed because you're on such a high, right? Yeah. But my achievements, obviously is working with Mark King and Mike Lindop with Free Your Soul, which you've played that, and meeting people like Cole Harvey and Aaron Spink and the rest of the band, the Coldjack band, and playing with those guys, as you know, is phenomenal.
Yeah, you had a wonderful array of musicians in that.
Yeah, I'm very lucky and blessed to have all of them.
Bella Heyman.
Yeah, Bella, and who plays with Crack of Dawn, as you know, and it's exciting knowing you can go up on the stage, and those achievements. Yeah, my achievement is being up on that stage and not worrying about whether the song's going to go
Right.
school with or anything. You know, you can go up there and when you've been at the Jazz Bistro watching us, we're all having fun because everybody knows their piece and we're all comfortable.
Yeah,
but mainly my achievements are just, well, hopefully I've got a lot more achievements to do, break, and I have, I have.
Right.
But it's tough.
Yeah,
it's extremely tough because promoters like Coldjack, they love the music, but then you never hear from them, or it's just trying to convince them, getting over that hurdle to book you.
Yeah.
But again, I always say, when a promoter turns around and says, well, nobody knows you, again, I have to say, I'll ask the question, well, the reason they don't know is because you don't book us.
Right.
And then when people do book us and we play, everybody goes, wow, I want to bring you back, you guys are fantastic live,
Yes.
and I'm sure that goes with most indie artists, it's hit and miss, really, Curtis,
Yes.
to be honest, with the shows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your take on a fan will come up to you, oh, I love your music, Coldjack, Johnny Boy Fraser, but then they go on to just purchase a single of the album.
Like, pick one?
Yeah, just
track,
pick one,
yeah.
one track. Instead of getting the whole album, one track of it.
I'm good with that.
You're good, okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that because obviously that track obviously got to them.
Yes.
And maybe they took time to listen to the lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that track helped them get through life,
Right.
or a situation that might have they were in.
Okay.
Or if it's just someone saying, I just love it, I just love the track, for no real reason, I can't get it out of my head. That's
Right.
always good. It's seeing someone, come up and say, oh, I love Unconditional, it puts a smile on their face. But if it means something, now I have heard, I've got fans that contact me and say, oh my God, I love this track, Unconditional, I love Woman's World, because Woman's World is really, it's to respect women.
Yes.
And again, they're listening to the lyrics and it touches them. So that's more important to me, that the song touches them, than anything else.
Right. John Fraser, what's a normal day for you outside of music like?
Oh, washing the dishes, really. No. Because we haven't fitted out a new dishwasher in yet. Well, I've actually got a new job, so
Okay.
I'm working for a new company, and because I'm an avid, Heather and I are avid campers and hikers, and we love kayaking, so I'm actually working for a company now that sells all that stuff, and I'm a sales rep for them too.
Right.
And it's basically a stopgap in between, as you say, it's something that I love doing and love working now.
Right.
And it fills the day when I'm not doing the music, you have to have something else. But I don't know if I'm allowed to mention the company, I don't know. So
Okay.
it's MEC, and wonderful company to work for. They really look after me, and they really respect my music too.
Good. That's good.
They respect that I need time off.
Right.
And they've said, yeah, absolutely, give us enough notice, and
That is good.
Phenomenal company, and I actually enjoy working there. Working there. So I split my day up working, and then networking. I'm pretty much networking all the time. I don't stop.
Right.
Trying to get new shows, promoters listening, new radio stations, and washing the dishes, unfortunately, and sharing the chores. Right. Yeah, as you do. So.
John Fraser, thank you so much. You brought me a bottle of hot sauce. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do this?
Well, as you know, I've got our own coffee,
Yeah.
dark roast premium
Yes.
coffee. We started with that. do you
Still with
remember?
that.
Yeah, we still got that.
Okay.
And I said I would love a hot sauce. Why not? Why not? I love hot sauces.
Right.
I love Indian food, and I just love spices.
Yeah.
And we're working with someone now that's who love the label, by the way.
Yeah,
Just
I love pictures.
dig the label. With the logo there, and I just wanted to produce a hot sauce for the fans and the public, and this is our Coldjack Cafe, Coldjack Band hot jazzy sauce, but it's GMO free, gluten free, all organic. You can really taste the peppers and the tomatoes in this. And I said tomatoes, not tomatoes.
Wow.
So yeah, this is going to be now we've got the labels. We're going to be putting this on sale for $8,
Okay.
and the ingredients are amazing, and I'm sure everybody's going to love it. And the response so far, we've done a couple of samples, it's been fantastic. It really is. I mean, I love this. So this is going to be coming out soon.
Okay.
And we're going to put it on the Facebook and website, and we're going to maybe sell it on Amazon possibly.
Yeah.
But there it is.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce. I know a lot of Jamaicans who like it, and maybe
I'm Trinidadian.
You're Trinidadian, yes. Anybody from the Caribbean, I think will love this.
Yes.
And I don't know, I gave you a bottle because I love you. And,
Thank you.
and I want to get your feedback off it. But also, following this is now 3 years down the line, our wine is definitely coming out from California. So
right.
it's our Pinot Noir Vintage 2012 coming out. It's in barrels as we speak.
Okay.
The reason it took a while is because it had to ferment in the barrels, and they wanted to get the best product out. And we got to design a new label for the wine. So that's coming from California. That's going to be sold now in the UK and Canada.
Okay.
It got a license to bring it out. So
All right.
it's pretty cool.
That is great. I can't wait to try this hot sauce here.
Yeah, and it's quite a big bottle for $8, and
Yeah.
you only need a little bit.
Yes.
Look at that. Yeah, I love it. We
and
love it.
John, tell me, where does this book, Revolution: True Mental Health Stories of Love, Personal Evolution, and Cultural Revolution, ties in?
Well, as I said, Heather
Yes.
Heather is an author. My wife is an author and publisher, and she's actually right behind me. So I think it'd be best if she actually expressed herself and told the story.
Yes. Okay, let me just. Johnny Boy Fraser is in the house with the Cool Breeze
But
experience.
as a musician, I know how hard it is to get things out there, and I wanted to support the organisation and Heather and Natalie Harris. And there's some good people out there like Christine Newman. I know you're listening, darling. How are you?
Right.
And she's been very supportive too, and she's listening in, Curtis. So
Good.
yeah. Let's have a
little chat.
on that.
Yeah. Tell us what this. Hi, how are you?
So good to see you again, Curtis.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure coming down to Regent.
Thank you. Wonderful. Now, this book, tell us.
This is a labor of love. Now,
Sorry, what inspired you?
Well, I would say that Natalie Harris did. We published a book by her a couple of years ago that actually changed legislation in Canada.
Okay.
She had a PTSD journey. She's a former medic.
Okay.
And lobbied for some change across the country, which is pretty amazing. And because of that, I was at an event with her and Michael Landsberg and another lady by the name of Courtney Taylor. And off the cuff, after the event, we said we should do an anthology and get everybody's story and put it in one spot.
Back of the book, some of the characters in the...
Yes, so what we did is we did an open call and we solicited some people, and I know a lot of people are listening right now. I want to give a shout out to
Absolutely.
Catherine, as John mentioned, Christine, and also Matthew Hennigan. He's a young retired medic with the Canadian military who's had quite the journey, and I think you'll be hearing more from him in the future. He's had his fair share of trauma, but he writes, his writing is incredible. I've never read anything like it. So I think we'll be hearing from him after this book as well.
Okay.
The book moved me personally. It moves me personally. October 10 is Mental Health Awareness Day, World Mental Health Awareness Day. I find that if people share their stories, if they don't personally suffer from mental illness, they're affected by it because they know someone who is.
Right.
And as soon as one person speaks up, you find that everyone around them will start speaking too.
Right.
And we have some heavy hitters in here. We have Michael Landsberg. We have Stefan Grenier. We also have Deb McGrath. She's married to Colin Mockery. She's a Canadian. She herself is a Canadian comedian, and the book is coming out in early November. And you can order it online right now from Chapters. So it's already out there, and we've got a lot of pre-orders, and we're just super excited. I love it because it's a book with a mission.
Great. And I like the way this book ties in with Johnny Boy Fraser and the music and the coffee and the hot sauce.
Yes, yes.
Now, if I read this book, what do I walk away from? The information.
Personally, I was changed.
Yeah.
I was changed. I had a deeper understanding. I had more compassion and empathy
Okay.
than before. And actually, the person who wrote the foreword, his name is Asante Haftem. He's a TEDx presenter. He was born in Jamaica, raised in Toronto, and is a big advocate for mental health locally here in your neighborhood. So he wrote the foreword. We're very, very fortunate. And it moved me. Just a quick anecdote. We reached out to him, Courtney reached out to him, and he said yes. And I had no idea what we would get back. He was at the point where he was going to quit advocating for mental health. He was done. But because of the invitation to write for this, he is now advocating again. It's what kind of brought him back after he read the manuscript.
Right.
And after reading it, he felt he was so changed that he could not give it up.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Wow. Revolution.
It is a revolution. It takes, and the word revolution, if you look at it, it's a revolution. It is change on a cultural level. It also is evolution on a personal level.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, the word love is one of the first words in it, and that's our first chapter.
I like that, and the way you spin the letters around in the book. This
for
is
sure.
great. Revolution.
And when we were doing some testing in the beginning, and I had started with revolution as being the first part of the book, and everyone was saying, oh, this is too heavy. But I said, but it ends very light with the love section. And then we realized that the answer to the book is the answer to life.
Right.
Always start with love.
That's what I preach on my show.
Right?
Love first.
Always start with love. And it's not a down book. It's not something that will leave you feeling depressed. People have gone through trauma, but this book is about the turning point. It's about those little everyday slice of life things that help you see the world just slightly differently.
Wow.
Wow.
And all the big players on this book, Heather Down.
That's actually me.
Okay, good. Natalie Harris.
Yes, and Courtney
Taylor. Wonderful.
So we're so excited. I can't say enough of good things. I know I'm probably a little biased, but honestly, it's not my. Well, I have a few stories in there, but it's not all my writing, and I was very moved by what people sent in.
Well, I hope you sell millions of copies by the time this is said and done. I hope you sell millions and just energize the universe. And it's all about people, like the love, like you said, the sharing and the caring, and building a better society instead of this selfish type of I'm a big in a tower and I don't associate with that kind of nonsense, the lower class and all this.
Sometimes there's barriers the other way.
Yes.
Because not everyone in this book who wrote has a mental illness.
Right.
So sometimes we tend to stick to our own little groups.
Right.
So even if you are in that mental health world, and maybe someone else isn't, you still can't. You have to mingle to understand each other.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Break down those barriers.
Yes, and we're worse off when we don't help each other.
I so agree. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Heather Down, The Revolution. Johnny Boy Fraser, you're going to slide back in the chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. You could sit over here. You could sit over here. Yeah.
So, and that's why I'm really proud of this because of Heather. I'm really proud of this, Curtis, because it's like music. Music touches people,
exactly.
And this is going to touch people in a different way too. This book, because it's going to help them through their lives.
And John, you were the first musician I had on that expounded on their versatility. The book, the hot sauce, the music.
Well, that's because CDs don't sell anymore, really.
Right.
And as you know, a lot of stuff is online, and you can buy the songs. So I just want to do something different. I know there's other people that are doing similar things, but it's when you come up with the ideas and the creativity of maybe selling some hot sauce, because it's something people eat every day.
Yes.
It's something, coffee is drink and all, wine. So we thought we would experiment to see where that goes. And obviously we've got a new T-shirt that's come out too. But very proud of my wife when it comes to this book. It's like I think it's going to be huge for it's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's about touching people's hearts.
Yes.
And I am very proud, and I think Natalie Harris and Heather have done, and Courtney have done a fantastic job. And I just want to thank all the other people out there that have supported and helped along the way. You know, just fantastic. So thank you.
Great. So back to the music. John Fraser, your take on the Toronto music scene. Is it vibrant, promising? How does that enlighten or enhance your perspective?
It's, well, unfortunately there are a few clubs closing down, as you know.
Yes.
But there is a certain genre coming back, as I was saying. I think people, and even the younger crowd, we want to get them involved. But I can see some turning point,
Right.
but I still think it's going to take a lot more work. I mean, you guys are doing everything you possibly can. We know that. But with some of the clubs closing down, and again, I hate this. I'm not knocking
Right.
owners and that, but I find that they're not open to taking different genres. It seems to be
Yes.
the same genres, and
That's
I
so
know
true.
I appreciate people love different genres. That's
Absolutely.
fine, but it seems to be it's all the same, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think it's suffering because we're not opening our doors to. Like it was back in the 70s and 80s. You know, I wasn't here. I've only been here,
Vibrant.
18 years. Very vibrant.
Toronto was the place.
But London is still vibrant.
Yes.
After all these years.
New York City.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know why Toronto can't be more open. Not so blinkered. That's the word. It's a little bit blinkered. You know, I contact some clubs and that, and you know, and it's hit and miss. I
Right.
mean, I appreciate, you know, the Jazz Bistro taking me in, and Sybil and Joan and Colin taking Coldjack in, and our first weekend there we sold out, so that's why we always play there. But we need more venues like that,
Absolutely.
you know, and the music's there.
It is. There's no shortage.
And the way I look at it is, you're going to hear more and more about indie artists that are fantastic, that have got good music and can write good material. But if the venues are not there for them to express that,
Can't perform.
what are you going to do?
Can't perform.
Because it's like you came across us and you love the music, and I appreciate that and feel blessed about that.
Thank
But
you.
it's still going to take us to be seen in different venues that are willing to, you know, give us that chance, or any artist. Like I said, that's why Crack of Dawn, you know, we're looking at doing a show with Crack of Dawn next year.
Yeah. That's great. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I approached Paula and she thought it was a fantastic idea. She's
she's-
spoken to Alvin Jones, I believe,
Yeah.
who's now a friend of mine, and Trevor Daly I've known, you know, trombone player for, and his brother plays for Third World, right?
Yes, I had 2 Crackadon members 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. Mark Daniels.
Yep.
And the brother of Carl Harvey, Rupert Harvey.
Rupert, yeah.
They were fantastic, and I saw them live at the Jazz Bistro.
Yep.
The Jazz Festival.
Yeah.
The Beaches. They just put on a show on them.
Oh no, Crack of Dawn are great,
Yeah.
fantastic, and we're hoping to. I've spoken to Trevor, and Trevor's up for it. I think Alvin's up for it. Paula's definitely up for it, as you know.
Yes.
And I'm sure, no doubt, you'll get involved there.
Thank
We
you.
hope you do. We
Yes,
hope you
thank
do.
you, thank you. Thank you.
And we're looking to put on a really fantastic show.
Yes.
The reason we're doing it is to let the younger audience know that they're going to come to not just a fantastic show, but they're going to listen to instruments, live vocals without auto-tune.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God, yeah. And I think if we put this show on and this comes off,
Yes.
I think it will really help the music scene, because we really need to do this to make things happen in Toronto again. Not just us.
Yes.
Again,
The scene.
there's too many bands out there to mention, but they know who they are.
Yes.
And it's important. So.
I have a crazy dream,
Do you?
wish, $100 million on the line with the lottery.
Yeah.
I'd like to just get my hand on a piece of it and to form the Cool Breeze Jazz Festival annually.
Wouldn't we all?
Pick my guys
Beautiful.
that'll blow people away. Coldjack, Eddie Bullen, Jerome Tucker,
Yep.
Mike Cedric, all these cats,
Yep.
and just blow people away. A minimal fee, and we just have a good time. There's food, and you pay for that and everything, and everybody benefits from this.
Absolutely.
The Cool Breeze Jazz Festival.
Yeah.
You never know, but
No, I mean that's what we're always trying to. And as you know, it's very hard to put any festival on. You got to get the people there. You've
Yes.
got vendors to come out that would serve great food and
Yes.
and beverages, and but if that comes together, but more and more that needs to happen, because you
Yes.
hear it all the time. You know, you're getting all these festivals, and we can't all get into these festivals because there's so many applicants, right?
True, quite
But
true.
to put on our own, to put on our own festival would be like Paula's trying to, she's trying to do that, and I'm working on that too.
Yeah.
There's some Heather and I and some people have got some ideas about doing that,
Yes.
but it's not. You need also the support from the artist. We all work hard, but you still need the support from the artist
Yes, we do.
to get involved, to make it happen. It's so easy just to sit back
Cool, true.
and think, oh, there's a festival,
Magic's
great,
gonna happen.
magic's going to happen. It's not, because if you're relying on to get into, say, like the Toronto Jazz Festival, and the promoter doesn't, or the panel doesn't choose you,
Forget it.
forget it. Yeah, it's imperative that we try and look for an option to create a new festival, to bring it back to Toronto and do something maybe different.
John Fraser, is there a time in your musical career you look back and said, perhaps I should just pack this music thing in
Many
and
a
do something?
time.
Really?
Yeah.
What kept your fire lighting for the music?
Because have you ever seen that cartoon where someone's digging for gold, and they're within an inch and then they give up? You ever seen that
Yes.
Like it's a drawn cartoon, and you were so close. There's something in the back of my head that makes me think that I'm going to get that break. I'm close,
Right.
and I do get. I've said to Heather many times, that's it. I can't do this anymore, because I feel, without again that word bias, with working with Eddie,
Yeah.
I think our songs are well produced,
Yes.
and the songs that I've written are good songs. And
They are. They really are.
And sometimes I feel like I'm not being listened to. And again, I respect all artists, and I do respect promoters, and radio stations, but I've wanted to give up for that reason almost. Like, what have I got to do to get slightly noticed, or and I would say respected, because no one owes me anything.
Right.
No one owes me anything, and I don't own anybody anything. But I just feel that we're producing some really good stuff, and it's taken a lot longer than I thought.
Yes.
And I believe we're just around the corner from possibly being picked up or getting a break.
I hope you're happy.
I mean, we work so hard.
Oh, man.
People think we just turn up and rehearse and then we play a show. I'm networking now. I've got a new job at Mac. I'm working every hour God sends, networking, coming up with new songs and trying to put stuff together.
Okay.
Curtis,
Yes.
and it doesn't stop. It's tiring. It's stressful. But it could be enlightening at the end of the tunnel. It's that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel,
Yes.
but I feel like I run towards it and that light just keeps getting smaller and smaller, and I'm not begging. That's
Yeah,
not where I'm
I
going.
know.
It'd be lovely to
Yes.
be recognised for what we're bringing out.
And like Jesse Jackson says, keep hope alive.
Yeah, I believe. I'm a believer.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that maybe one of our songs will just hit it big, and then it takes us to where we want to be.
The radio station blast them out there.
I mean, everybody does, and the feedback's amazing, but for some reason we're not quite getting over that hurdle and where we want to be.
Right.
And that's my goal, really.
Okay.
It's getting to that next level, and then maybe be respected as a musician, and hopefully hear the promoters.
Yes. Well, John, you and I are big cricket soccer fans.
We are.
Would you like to re-sign my balls?
I would love to re-sign your cricket ball. Do you remember that? That's so funny. I remember your face when I said, "Would you like one of my balls?" And you was like, "Wow, okay." But it was a cricket ball, and I know you're an avid cricket fan.
Yes.
And,
Pace bowler. I love to bowl that pace.
yeah, and we've got a lot in common when it comes to the cricket, because I used to love watching the West Indies.
Yes, and you had the silver gold marker and it erased.
Oh, he did.
So I brought it back. I said, I got to get John to sign me balls. So,
yeah, well, I think we'll have to do that after the show. I don't
yes,
think,
not on film.
Not on film. No.
But I was doing an interview a few weeks back.
Yep.
And every time I come into the studio, I drink a half a gallon of water from Fuji. Drink it, flush out my system. And I'm not one of these guys to run every 5 minutes and drain the pumps.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm drinking, I'm guzzling this baby down. We get into the interview. 20 minutes into the interview, doors are locked, cameras are rolling, and I'm asking questions. I can't drain the pumps. And John, I said, "When is Johnny Boy Fraser when I need him?" It was just never again. I'm doing that. Never. It was just you can't stop the cameras.
Oh, I know.
I thought it was just an unbelievable.
You should just have a little bucket. Down
Yes.
the floor, just
It was a YouTube moment.
Yeah, I love it.
Johnny, when all is said and done for you, how would you like to be remembered with all of this music, peppers, wines, sports?
I think from a music point of view, I'd be just pleased that the biggest thrill I get is when if someone's a fan or someone new just says, I just love your music. Like, remember me for the songs that I've written, and if they touch you, that's really pleasing to me, from the soul.
Right.
And I want to be remembered from washing up dishes and stuff like that. So seriously, I want to be just remembered for writing some good songs and
Yes.
and giving back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, recognizing this, PTSD and sort of the more my wife gets into learning more about this situation, that it makes you think that money is not important.
Yes.
Love, life
Absolutely.
is more important than anything, and we should all be. I mean, the world's a crazy place right now. We seem to be focusing on the wrong thing.
Quite true. Oh, it's
We're
frightening.
blinkered. I mean, politics. I love politics, but really, politics and religion sometimes completely ruins people's lives because we're so obsessed by it, and it seems to stop you in your tracks from moving on, moving on and doing and being creative and helping others.
Right.
But some of the things they report in the paper are ridiculous.
It is.
I mean,
comedy.
it's crazy that and
CNN and the fella in Washington is shit
all
comedy.
of that.
Comedy.
It's ridiculous that we're
Yeah.
wasting millions of dollars on these hearings and that, when that money could go back into helping
Quite
people.
true.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean,
Homeless people, mental health, people, food, clothes, shelter.
yeah, they're more
Come on.
important than any of these things, but
Yeah.
we seem to be so obsessed by what's going on in the States and around the world with, let's come together, let's work together, let's try and help people that need help in general,
Okay.
and move on. Let's move on.
Make a better life for
Make a better life for everybody. Let's not worry about trying to live on another planet. Let's look after this beautiful planet
Yes.
and what it stands for. That frustrates me too. We could get into that another day.
Yes,
but-
we will. John, tell the people where your music can be purchased.
Our music can be purchased on Amazon.com, iTunes, and you can go to my website, coldjack.com. Or if you want to become a fan, you can go to facebook.com/coldjackband.
Right.
Would love to see new fans or comments, anything like that. Love to get a comment about our songs.
Yes.
If you want to join us for the first time, come out and see Coldjack at the Jazz Bistro this 12th and 13th of October. Love to see you, love to meet you, love to have a chat, get to know you. That's what it's all about.
Right.
And as I've got a new single coming out, and I'd like to thank again Sassy Sue and Frank Tui, and there's Michael Kiam and Paula and all the other stations. I'm sorry, but and to you, my friend, you are just phenomenal.
Thank you.
You are the king of supporting indie artists, and again, we can't thank you enough. And I just want to put a big call out to all my band members, Coldjack band members. You're just fantastic, and
Great.
obviously my wife's support.
Heather.
She's there. She does all the graphics, and she's there 100%. Even though it's very stressful at times, but everybody out there, I love you.
Right.
You've done so much. We feel blessed, and
Johnny Boy Fraser, pleasure coming down to Radio Regent.
Thank you, Curtis, as always, my
I will
friend.
join you next Friday or Saturday at the beach.
yeah, I can't wait to see you, and I'm sure you'll be up and dancing like you normally am, and juggling your balls around, so it's like, yeah, as you do, and I look forward to that. And Thank you to all the listeners and all the fans. I can't thank you enough. And
Great.
yeah,
Thank you so much.